as we sang our own love's refrain.
Hi there, welcome to our Safe at Home Manitoba series of YouTube videos based around the life and times of a pioneer family from the late 1800s. We begin in our replica log home located at the Woodlands Pioneer Museum in the rural town of Woodlands, Manitoba. Efforts at replicating this log cabin setting began when we received news that our original log home on site would have to be demolished as it was no longer safe for visitors. The original home was built in the 1880s by Richard Coupe in Lake Francis, Manitoba. It was the home of the Coupe family for many years. The Lake Francis Ranch reached out to the museum committee to see if there would be interest in moving the log house to the museum site, and work began to do that. The original home was part of the museum for many years and welcomed many visitors. Before the original home was taken down, there was thought put into the planning of the new version of the log house. Immediate action began, and the new vision of the replica home on the same blueprint took form. Items and contents were carefully taken from the original home, like this door and window, along with the diaries that were written by the original owners. The entries and photographs were superimposed onto poster storyboards to be displayed in the new build to honor the lives of the Coupe family. We are very proud of these lovely storyboards that chronicle the daily lives of Richard and Agnes Coupe. The main floor of the house was the heart of the home. It had a large cook stove in the corner where everything from delicious meals were made to water boiled for washing clothes and bathing. The need for a small clothesline to hang items to dry was something that was very necessary, especially on cold winter days. A container beside the stove kept the wood needed for the stove and another receptacle for the ashes to be carried out. Walls were used to hang pots and water dippers for quick access. The small icebox was nearby to the enamel kitchen pantry and was usually located on an outside wall to help with keeping it cool. This pantry held many kitchen staples and is where the magic of the home baking took place. Nearby the front windows was a small davenport for people to sit and have a rest on while they listened to the phonograph. Looking around to the other side of the small space, we find the sideboard that contained the good dishes that would be used if company came to visit. Also here was the sewing machine situated near the window for ease of good lighting. Many articles of clothing were made using the treadle machine. Moving along towards the upstairs of the cabin and following the exact footprint of the original home, we passed the piano that was used for entertaining and general enjoyment to pass the hours and join in singing old favorites and hymns. The upper floor is where beds and cradles were set up, as well as the bathtub privately set up behind a screen. Homemade quilts were placed on each of the beds, and of course, as there was no running water, chamber pots as they were known were found nearby each bed. A rocking chair was kept upstairs as well for rocking little ones to sleep at night. One single set of drawers with a mirror allowed for toiletries and grooming items to be kept on display. Often there was mending needed to be done, and this was typically where it would be kept as to be out of the way of the busyness of the downstairs. Some of the unique artifacts that you'll find in the museum include this, which kind of looks like two Pringles that are put together, and it's actually a cookie cutter that you would just use and you would roll it across your dough and it would make perfect circular cookies. And I really think that these should make a comeback and should be in every home baker's kitchen because I think they're super handy and very cool. Another unique thing you might find at the museum is that most pantries come with a flour holder and a flour sifter at the bottom. They also come complete with these little windows so you can see when your flour is getting low, and you put your cup underneath and you sift your flour right in so that any impurities or things that are in unperfectly milled flour don't end up in your baking. I'd like to read a couple of excerpts from the diaries of the Coupe family from October 1939 as a means of closing out our tour. Friday, October 6th, 1939. It was a beautiful, fine, clear, not much wind day. Got barrel of water to water the cattle, putting hay on straw stack, got load of hay from Gilead West, and put it to the front hay stack to fill the vacancy beneath the bed. We hope our tour has piqued your interest and your love for our log home. We hope you enjoyed the rest of our series that includes sewing, arts and crafts, and outdoor activities that were part of the everyday life of our early pioneers. Stay home and stay safe.
Oh my Miss Molly, won't you say you love me too? Oh me, oh my Miss Molly, I'm in love with you. Oh my Miss Molly, won't